Welcome to the deep dive. If you ever really stop and think about how basic movement is, you realize it's not just about sports or hitting the gym. It's everything. It's how we navigate life.
Absolutely. And that's what we're digging into today. Physical competency. It's basically the science behind how and, importantly, why your body moves like it does.
So our mission here is to give you the core ideas, the real foundational stuff from physical education sources.
Right. We're trying to distill the key concepts, the important distinctions, and also the biology, the bones, muscles, systems that lets you do everything efficiently. It's all centered on this idea of maximizing how well you move.
Okay, so let's unpack that main idea then, the one that really ties this all together. Movement competency. According to our sources, this isn't just some trendy phrase for, being able to move around.
No, not at all. It's framed as the absolute bedrock of physical fitness.
And the key word seems to be mastery, right?
Exactly. Movement competency means you've mastered those fundamental movement patterns. You've integrated your core stability. You have the control needed to do things efficiently.
Ah, okay. So it prepares you for pretty much anything. Lifting groceries, playing with kids, even catching yourself before a fall.
Precisely. It shifts the whole focus from just doing an action to really understanding and controlling it.
Got it. So you're building this finely tuned system, not just relying on brute force.
And to build that system, you really have to start at the beginning with fundamental movement skills.
The building blocks.
The absolute building blocks. They develop your coordination, your stability, and we generally split them into two main types.
Okay, first up, the one most people probably picture, locomotor skills. I guess these are just movements where you actually travel through space.
That's it. If you change your location, it's locomotor. Think running, walking, sure, but also skipping, hopping.
Leaping, galloping, things kids do naturally.
Yeah, and they're crucial for gross motor development. Getting from point A to point B effectively.
Then, the flip side is non-locomotor skills. These are movements where you stay put, right? Stationary stuff.
Correct. And arguably just as vital, especially for things like stability and control. We're talking stretching, bending, twisting,
Swaying, pushing, pulling.
balancing,
Yeah.
turning. Your body might be in one spot, but it's working, maintaining posture, fine-tuning control.
So whether you're like running a 10K that's locomotor or maybe holding a tree pose in yoga non-locomotor, you need both skill sets.
Absolutely, for coordination, for control.
Right.
And they lead us nicely into the next big topic,
Yeah.
what physical fitness really is.
Right. When we talk about physical fitness, the definition our sources use is actually quite revealing. It's the ability to do your daily tasks vigorously, efficiently, without getting wiped out.
And here's the kicker, and still have energy left over for emergencies or just for fun, for recreation.
That energy left over part, that really defines true fitness, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It's not just about, say, managing to lift a heavy box once. It's about having that reserve capacity. That's what impacts your long-term quality of life. It lets you age more gracefully, helps resist disease.
Okay, and this is where we hit a really important distinction. One I think a lot of people get mixed up. Physical activity versus exercise.
Oh, definitely. They are not the same thing. Physical activity is the big umbrella term. It's basically any movement your skeletal muscles make that uses energy.
So doing the dishes counts, climbing stairs, yard work.
All physical activity, yes. But exercise is different. It's a subset of physical activity. It has structure, it's planned, it's repetitive.
And critically, it has a specific goal, improving or maintaining some part of your physical fitness.
Exactly. So going for a planned 30-minute run
Right.
or doing a weightlifting session, that's exercise.
So the key takeaway for you listening is crucial here.
It really is. Lots of people think, oh, I'm active all day, I must be exercising. But if that activity isn't structured, isn't specifically aimed at building fitness, well, you might be missing out on developing that vital reserve capacity we just talked about.
So bottom line, all exercise is physical activity.
But definitely not all physical activity counts as exercise.
Understanding that helps us broaden the picture even more, moving towards wellness. Because being functional is about more than just the physical body.
Right. Wellness is presented as this holistic balance across 5 dimensions. There's the physical, obviously nutrition, rest, exercise.
But you need to balance that with the emotional, how you handle stress, maintaining positivity.
The mental critical thinking, always learning. The social interacting with others, teamwork.
And finally, the spiritual dimension. Your values, your sense of purpose.
Yeah. It's a fantastic reminder that you can't just focus on one area. You can be incredibly fit physically, lifting weights every day.
But if you're constantly stressed out, feeling isolated, your overall wellness is still taking a hit.
Exactly. It's the whole picture.
Okay, so drilling down into physical fitness itself, our sources split the components based on what they improve. Let's start with health-related fitness.
These are the components everyone needs for general health, for overall wellness, and importantly, for preventing chronic diseases.
And there are 5 key ones. Muscular strength, that's your max force output.
Muscular endurance, the ability to repeat contractions or hold them.
Flexibility, your joints' range of motion. Body composition, the ratio of fat mass to lean mass.
And then, arguably the most critical one, the real cornerstone of health-related fitness, cardiorespiratory endurance.
That's your heart and lungs working efficiently together.
Exactly. How well your body can sustain prolonged movement. It's the #1 indicator of your cardiovascular health. Essential stuff.
Okay, then we switch gears to the second category, skill-related fitness.
Right. These are the 6 components that really fine-tune movement. They boost precision, efficiency, athletic performance. This is often what separates a generally healthy person from, say, an athlete or someone with very specialized movement skills.
So this list includes things like balance and coordination, reaction time, how fast you respond to a stimulus,
Agility, it's your ability to change direction quickly but stay in control.
and then the last 2, speed and power. Now, people often use strength and power like they're the same thing.
Yeah, that's a common mistake. They're related but different. Strength is the maximum force you can generate. Think of it like the size of your engine.
Okay.
Power, on the other hand, is how quickly you can apply that maximum force. It's strength combined with speed. It's the acceleration of that engine.
Ah, I see. So strength lets you lift something heavy, maybe slowly.
Right. But power is what lets you throw something explosively or jump high. It's force applied fast.
It's interesting how we analyze movement now. It wasn't always like this, right? Early physical training was more rigid.
Oh, definitely. Often just rote drills, maybe military-style stuff. The big shift came with what's known as the movement education movement.
And this focused more on expression, exploration, body awareness.
Exactly that. Which leads us to some really key historical figures who changed how we thought about teaching movement. First, there's François Delsart,
Mm.
French guy, back in the 1800s.
What was his contribution?
He developed this whole system focused on expressive movement.
Mm.
He saw the body as a way to communicate, emphasizing awareness.
Interesting. And then later.
Later, you have people like Liesl Diem, a German educator. She really pushed for more child-centered approaches. Creative rhythmic movement, not just rigid instruction.
Making it more engaging, especially for kids.
Right. But maybe the giant in this field is Rudolf von Laban. People often call him the father of modern educational dance.
Okay, Laban, what did he bring to the table?
Leibgen gave us a conceptual framework, a way to actually analyze and teach movement systematically.
Hmm.
He introduced the 4 movement concepts.
But in fact-
Body, what parts are moving, what shapes are they making, space where the movement happens, the direction, the level, the quality of the movement, like its force, its speed, its flow, and relationships, how the body relates to objects or other people.
Wow. So it's not just teaching kids what to do, like do 10 jumping jacks.
Exactly. It forced educators to teach how to understand movement, how to control your body in space, how to vary the effort. It leads to genuine competency, not just mimicry.
Okay, so Laban and others gave us the concepts, expression, control, awareness. Now let's look under the hood, the actual hardware, the biology that makes it all possible.
Yeah, understanding basic anatomy and physiology A&P is absolutely fundamental here. You need to know how the body is built to support movement, how it sustains life during movement, and how it adapts to training over time.
Let's start with the frame, the skeletal system. It's more than just 206 bones holding us up, right?
Much more. Structure, support, protection of organs, yes, but also movement bones act as levers. And crucially, blood cell production happens inside the bone marrow.
And bones need to connect. Let's clarify tendons and ligaments again.
Good call.
Mm.
Tendons are tough, fibrous cords. They connect muscle to bone. Think of them transmitting the pulling force from the muscle to move the bone.
Got it. And ligaments.
Ligaments are more elastic bands. They connect bone to bone, primarily to stabilize joints, keep things aligned.
Okay, looking closer at the skeleton itself. You mentioned the axial skeleton. That's the central core. Skull, spine, ribs.
All right, 80 bones in total. And it includes some fascinating details, like the hyoid bone in your neck.
A hyoid. What's special about that one?
It's unique. It's the only bone in the human body that doesn't directly connect or articulate with any other bone.
It just floats.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's anchored by muscles and ligaments. It supports the tongue, plays a key role in speech and swallowing. It shows how the skeleton is tied into functions way beyond just moving limbs.
Wow. Okay, then there's the appendicular skeleton. That's the limbs and the girdles attaching them.
Yep, the other 126 bones. Your arms, legs, shoulders, pelvis. This is the skeleton primarily involved in locomotion and manipulating objects.
And you mentioned a good example of functional design in the lower leg.
Ah, yes. The tibia and the fibula. The tibia is the big one, the shin bone. It bears most of your weight.
And the fibula.
It runs alongside the tibia, much thinner. It's mainly there for muscle attachments and stabilizing the ankle joint. It doesn't bear significant weight. It's a neat division of labor. One bone for primary weight bearing, the other for stability and fine-tuning.
Makes sense. Okay, so if the skeleton is the frame, the muscular system must be the engine, roughly 650 muscles.
Around that number, yeah. And they do more than just create movement. They maintain posture, stabilize joints, even generate heat to keep you warm.
We usually categorize muscle tissue into 3 types.
We do. There's smooth muscle, found in organs, involuntary. Cardiac muscle, only in the heart, also involuntary. But the ones we focus on for movement are skeletal muscles.
They're voluntary, attached to bones.
Right. And they make up a big chunk of your body mass, maybe 30 to 40%.
And these skeletal muscles aren't all the same. They have different fiber types.
Correct. Broadly, you have type I fibers. These are your slow twitch fibers. They're very resistant to fatigue, use oxygen really well. Think endurance activities, like marathon running. They look reddish.
Okay, slow and steady.
Then you have type 2 fibers, the fast twitch ones. Type I is the fastest, most powerful. Great for sprinting, jumping, heavy lifting, but they fatigue very quickly. They tend to look whiter. There's also type Cia, which are sort of intermediate.
So knowing this helps explain why some people are naturally better sprinters and others better distance runners.
Exactly. It highlights the specific biological adaptations needed for different kinds of movement.
Of course, none of this movement happens without fuel and oxygen. That brings in the support systems. Circulatory system first.
Its main job is transport. Oxygen from the lungs, nutrients from digestion, hormones. And it carries waste products away. Quick reminder, arteries carry oxygenated blood away from the heart. Veins carry deoxygenated blood back to the heart.
And the respiratory system handles the gas exchange, right? Getting oxygen in, carbon dioxide out.
Precisely. That crucial exchange happens in the lungs, in millions of tiny air sacs called the alveoli.
And the main muscle driving breathing is the diaphragm.
Yes, that large dome-shaped muscle sitting below your lungs. When it contracts, it flattens, pulling air into the lungs. It really underscores how fundamental breathing control is for any kind of movement efficiency.
Finally, to even talk about all this movement scientifically, we need a common language.
Yeah.
That starts with the anatomical position.
Right, standing upright, feet together, arms at the side, palms facing forward. It's our universal reference point. Everything is described relative to this position.
And that helps us define basic motion terms like flexion.
Which means decreasing the angle at a joint, like bending your elbow.
And extension.
Increasing the angle, straightening the joint.
Okay, what about moving limbs away from the body?
That's abduction. Think abduct, take away.
Okay.
Lifting your arm out to the side.
And bringing it back towards the midline.
That's adduction. Think add, bring towards. Simple ways to describe complex motions.
So when we pull all these threads together, the movement theories from people like Laban, the nuts and bolts of anatomy and physiology.
Yeah, you really see how movement competency becomes this seamless link between understanding movement concepts and actually having the physical capacity to perform them well. Awareness meets function.
Knowing those foundational skills, locomotor, non-locomotor, and understanding the structures, bones, muscles, how they work, that's what builds true efficiency.
It helps prevent injuries, too.
Yeah.
And it really does set you up for lifelong fitness that's functional, not just aesthetic. It's less about how much you lift today.
And more about how well your body, your machine, runs efficiently tomorrow and for years to come.
We can circle right back to Delsart's idea. Movement as expression, as communication. Think about it. Every single thing you do daily.
How you sit at your desk, how you walk upstairs, even how you gesture when you talk.
It's all a result of your body structure and the movement patterns you've learned or developed over time.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to chew on. If movement really is this system of expression and efficiency, how well are your everyday, maybe even unconscious, movements communicating the health and function of your own personal system?
Are you moving efficiently?
Yeah.
Or are you just sort of getting by? Something to consider.
Definitely something to think about. Thanks for diving deep with us today.